Aries Woman, March 21st to April 19th. A shooting star leaving a blazing trail in the inky blue sky. Bright, packed with energy and the fire to achieve everything and anything. The Aries woman is all that and a lot more. Just like her male counterpart, an Aries woman shows sparks of vigor and strength of character. Although aggression figures largely in her attitude, there are Aries women who are more placid too. But both kinds are like a shining star, unrivaled in its glory and complete in its own radiance. Extremely conscious of herself, the Aries female is fearless, strong, and egocentric. To her, the world revolves around her. What she does or thinks is of utmost importance, with others being neglected or sidelined in the bargain. She takes the term extreme to her heart. She loves in extreme, she hates in extremes, and generally lives life on the extreme. If she loves you, you will be the core of her existence. But if she dislikes you, nah, there is no word like dislike for her. It's simple hatred. That's what I call living life in black and white. How can you identify an Aries woman in a crowd? With a body language that bespeaks boldness, the Aries girl will talk with authority and look at you in the eye with unabashed confidence. Not one to mince words, it is easy to spot her in a social setup, as she will be the one most vocal with her opinions. She will give you her undivided attention, but only as long as your conversation interests her. The minute she finds it boring, she will start looking around with impatience. Another giveaway of the Aries female is her to do it myself stance. She will rush to get her own drink, pull up her own chair, and carry her own bags without much ado. But that's not saying that she won't expect men around her to behave in a gentlemanly fashion. It's just that she's too independent to seek assistance, especially from men. At a party, you will find her leading the way with her actions and speech. In a conversation, she will be the chief talker and she will be the first one to lead everyone to the dance floor. If she takes a fancy to you, she will immediately take you under her wing, and from there on, you won't have a single dull moment to crib about. What are the key features of her personality? With the sensational election of Barack Obama as the President of USA, America's first ever woman president doesn't seem an impossible dream. And I'm sure there are many female Aryans aspiring to step into the White House. With a persistent urge to lead and be number in everything, an Aries woman comes up with a natural knack for leadership. She is full of energy and vitality, which also makes her restless. She is constantly on the lookout for new enterprises to utilize her energy. With never a moment to spare, she is on a whirlwind mission to complete tasks within the standards she has set for herself. Her aspirations are always high, and she usually lands up expecting as much of others as she does from her own self. An Aryan female has an urgent and aggressive attitude in everything she does. There are also the passive kinds who take things at a slower pace. I guess both kinds are equally in existence, 50-50. The aggressive ones are more outgoing, extroverted, with an opinion on everything, which is more often than not loudly broadcasted. Her frankness in speech and manner will floor you at first and disturb you later. Freedom of speech is dear to her heart and she will use it freely, sometimes crossing the thin line between openness and roughness. But one can't deny the fact that she is honest to the core in whatever she says or does. Her honesty makes her almost innocent in worldly ways, and guess what? Like everything else, she expects the same from you. An Aries female shows no trace of timidity, ever. She has a complete confidence in herself. She takes each step with pride and self assurance, be it her professional or personal life, or merely the actual act of walking. While she is bubbling with energy, she is also like an emotionally charged atom. An amateur psychologist can tell you what a fatal combination that is. But what lies on the surface is not emotion but sensitivity. Aries women are hypersensitive and are likely to flare up immediately when rubbed the wrong way. Her sensitive nature also makes her endearing, and those she loves are undoubtedly very lucky. An Ariel girl is also born to lead. With her innate leadership qualities, she will immediately take on the role at the helm of things, be it her family, group of friends at college, or business associates. A trait typical of the fire signs of the zodiac. She likes to lead with example, and therefore you will find her being energetic and full of vigor in everything she does. Arian girls are often heroines of inspirational sagas. How is an Aries woman on following aspects? Appearance. An Aries woman has sharp, arresting features and a strong jawline. You will usually see her making a statement with her attire. She is fond of dressing well and likes people to notice her style, but not necessarily flashy clothes. Her sense of style is very subtle yet effective. With making a statement, I don't mean she will always be dressed to kill, but whatever she wears will have a certain swagger to it. I have observed that very often the more aggressive kinds sport a tomboyish look, with short haircuts and a don't mess with me look on the face. The passive kinds are more ladylike with long hair and girly qualities. I have also noted an interesting point that this type of Aryan women likes wearing long flowing garments, for instance, a dress or a skirt. Ambition. On the ambition scale, an Aries woman ranges from ambitious to overambitious. Her love for challenges prods her into dreaming big and achieving better. An Aries woman is a dreamer and draws out fantastic plans for herself, both in personal and professional life. Her ambitious nature does not let her rest on her laurels. She believes in scaling new heights every day. Even in her successful role as a homemaker, she will yearn to create a mark for herself. But her ambitions are well balanced, and she is almost always able to deal with work and home with unmatched equilibrium. Ego and self-respect. Her egotism matches the fiery quality of her zodiac sign. Both kinds of Aries women, assertive and passive, have tremendous self-respect and ego. While the passive Arian might be submissive most of the time, take care not to push her too far, as her blazing ego is lurking just below the surface. Responsibility. Like her male counterpart, the Aryan woman has an innate sense of responsibility. She aspires to excel at every given task, which is heightened by her sense of duty. Aryan women therefore make good daughters, wives, and mothers. Her need to outshine in all her activities is more to prove to herself than the world. Etiquettes. Although you will find her good at maintaining her composure, be sure it is a facade, and a thin one at that. With an attitude tilting towards the casual, she makes no qualms in deviating from set social mannerisms. However, the exceptional kind of Aryans, read passive ones, tend to be perfectionist, paying detailed attention to grooming and etiquettes. What is her approach towards life? Let me repeat myself here. She is a dreamer. She can weave yarns of fantasy and a golden future not just for herself, but also for her loved ones. Her ambition and optimism tend to overspread to include her family and friends too. She likes to plan and prepare for a glorious future, To her, nothing is impossible, including miracles. Miracle is a word that this lady implicitly believes in. Having said all the above, let me clarify that although she dreams pleasant dreams, she is never unrealistic in her approach. Her feet are firmly grounded and she knows the exact extent of her determination and efforts. Her energetic drive is, however, often glossed over by cynicism. How does she score on the following points? Cynicism. An aggressive Aryan girl is high on cynicism, and the passive kind is rather low on cynicism, and that is courtesy, her unending pool of optimism. Pessimism is temporary in her nature. Both the assertive and passive kinds of Aries women display cynicism in varying proportions, with the aggressive ones walking away with the cake. Given a chance, she talks herself out of gloom and immediately starts looking out for the proverbial silver lining. Suspicion and jealousy. When it comes to suspicion, the Aryan girl can sometimes go a bit overboard. In a few minority cases, she won't doubt her partner or his motives unless given her strong reason for it. She is or likes to pretend, depending on the type you are pitted against, that she is trusting by nature and often thinks it below herself to get suspicious. She also abhors being suspected. Nothing will put off an Aryan girl more than sleuths on a trail. She believes that in a relationship, she should be trusted, as implicitly. She can get easily jealous. Sadly, you really don't want to see that other side of her. So my advice for you is to lay off her jealous card and underplay whatever that you think might make jealous her. Unless she feels immensely secure in the relationship, she can be quite a monster. Dishonesty and infidelity. An Aries woman comes out with a clean chit. She will never be frivolous with her relationship. To her, love is for keeps and she will fulfill her part of the commitment to the fullest. Only a completely out of hand situation can urge her to be a promiscuous, and even that is a strong term. Further, dishonesty doesn't come easily to her. But put it plainly, an Aries woman finds it difficult to lie. And when she does, it is a Herculean task for her to keep up the falsehood. Generally speaking, she might indulge in a little white lie now and then, but you can't stick the label dishonest upon her. This might be amongst the few things she shares with her Aries male. Hardships. Unmatched vigor. Women under no other sign display such strength of character and understanding as an Aries woman. Buckling under duress, not this one. Given her sensitive nature, she handles hardships with amazing practicality. Her love for challenges only makes her turn every adversity into a milestone. She will leave no stone unturned to overcome difficulties. Success and failure. With success, it's another story altogether. Aries women exhibit success in a moderate to loud manner. No subtlety or delicacy here. She makes sure everyone hears and acknowledges her success. The louder, the better. This, however, may not apply to the passive Aries woman. In spite of their ever-present optimism, both kind usually take failures to heart. Failure turns them into a self-critic. Given their sensitive nature, they blame themselves for the shortcomings. But that's only after she finishes blaming everyone else. Host. As host, Aryan women show two distinct categories. One category is like an Aries man, a stickler for details. The parties will be elaborate affairs with everything from wine to cigars being served with finesse. And then there is the other category, where Aryan women show a completely casual attitude as host. If you ever land up at a party by the second kind, don't be surprised to find home delivery parcels in the kitchen. Guest. If there is a woman who likes attention and knows how to handle lots of it, it has got to be an Arian. The lady in question likes to be at the center of things, so as a guest, you will find her working on her proximity to the host. She demands and commands respect and attention, and if you're able to give her that, your party is a runaway success. How does she handle difficult situations? My observations tell me that an Aries woman is quickest at losing her temper. Not because she is bad-tempered, as she is low on patience. You will find her flaring up for no apparent reason. Her outbursts are generally rather short-lived, and she has the ability to quickly move ahead. Her flare-ups often result in arguments and debates that generally end up in quarrels. It is difficult for both kinds of Aries women to maintain grace under fire. They tend to blow things out of proportion. An Aries woman will also not fall short of using rough language to prove her point, so insistent is her need to be right in everything. And her excessive ego also makes it difficult for her to accept mistakes. Although her anger is usually touch and go, she tends to hold grudges. This tendency arises from her judgmental and opinionated nature. Of course, proper apologies and courtesy can mend matters. What is her characteristic weakness? The very traits that set her apart from when taken to the extreme can bring about her downfall. For instance, her aggression often borders on crudeness, while her ambition can make her seem heartless. Her low grace quotient, which is a byproduct of her throw it on your face attitude, can make her an eyesore in company. Second biggest would be her constant mood swings by the second, minute, or hour. Once she loses her cool, it is difficult for her to stop. Her verbal barrages can drive people away, leaving her irritated and seething with anger. She also finds it hard to take criticism. Criticizing her is a sure, short way of sending that lid up the roof. The Aries girl has a fiery temperament, and she often flies into a rage for no apparent reason. Her strong sense of ego makes her myopic, and therefore she is not able to look beyond herself. She finds it difficult to bend her stance, and apologizing is clearly not her way of mending things. Her possessiveness rating is slightly higher than ordinary, which makes her easily jealous. Added to this, since she is also extremely intuitive, she is always on her guard. Moreover, her possessiveness comes with a catch. She dislikes, hates this quality in others, especially her partner. She expects space from her spouse, which is not likely to give him as readily. Me is a prominent factor for her. She is self-absorbed and often thinks only of her desires and needs. In her obsession to succeed, she will leave behind those who can't catch up with her ambitious pace. The Aries woman can at times turn hypocritical, especially to suit her needs. She has no qualms of fidgeting with values and ethics to have her way. Is there more to this energetic woman's persona? I have come across Aries women that are highly focused on all fronts. At work, they outshine others with their ambitious and competitive spirit. In the role of a homemaker, you will find them competent at just about anything from personal hygiene to supervising the cleaning of the house, to cooking, and from doing the dishes to taking care of the family and pets. She likes to be in control. She also wants and yearns to be independent. Financial dependency leads to frustration in an Aries woman. She likes to do things her own way, especially those involving finances. Apart from earning money, she is also enamored by the fame attached to a work well done. Like in everything else, she is an early bird at earning a living as well. Don't be surprised if you see her doing odd jobs to earn few extra bucks. There are few things she will take lying down, for instance, dishonesty and injustice. She is quite capable of taking up your case and fighting till the finish if she feels you have been wronged. So far, those who think you are sinned against than sinning. An Aries woman will be an apt champion for your cause. Under all those fiery qualities lies an intuitive nature. An Arian female is extremely intuitive and totally believes in her intuitions. I would like to add here that her intuition makes her vary and therefore leads to suspicion. This also makes her impulsive, fearless, and dauntless. She is not afraid to take risk and plunge into things that her intuition says are right. I have noticed Aries women swinging between two inclinations. Either they are very spiritual or complete non-believers. They are also extremely compassionate. How should one deal effectively with an Aries woman? With a lot of caution. Anything and everything can cause this firebrand lady to lose her cool. As long as you stay out of her hair, she'll be most helpful, courteous, and charming to be with. Of course, she'll still be wary of you and your intentions. The lady craves for attention, and flattery is a tried and tested method of winning her to your side. And yes, she would give you ample reason to genuinely compliment her from time to time. Since she likes to be in control, she could go overboard with being helpful to the extent of being interfering. In such a scenario, be gentle in your reprimand, expressing gratitude for her lending a helping hand, while at the same time delegating the task to someone else. While dating one, make sure you don't get caught flirting around or cheating on her. She'll rip you apart. Be faithful and she will shower you with more love and care than you could possibly imagine. How does she handle money matters? Money and Aries women are best friends, although she assigns no value to it. Money for her is equivalent to her shopping bags. She can spend like there's no tomorrow. Long-term financial planning is just not her forte. So be careful while sharing your bank account with her. In all likelihood, her contribution would be to empty it. But in hard times, she's equally capable of buckling up and making sure that there is no waste of any sort. Being a good spender, she makes for jovial company as she's unbiased and spending money on family and friends. How is she on the professional front? Aggressive to the extent of being selfish and cruel. The Aries woman is a high flyer. She's a woman on the fast track. She draws delight from success like a junkie on hash. Her attraction for power borders on the obsessive, and she will fight it out with anyone and everyone to win that coveted title. Though branded as terribly aggressive, this Arian can be quite a comforting friend to people who are important to her. However, this attribute would come into play only if you aren't in competition with her for the same plum post or project. She'll be a true friend only if she doesn't consider you competition. How is she in various relationship roles? Excellent is an adjective which I will apply to all her roles as she is driven by her leadership quality and urge to excel in everything. She will make sure she makes a good daughter, wife, and a mother. Not just for show, but in earnest. She is responsible and independent from an early age. She easily takes up the role of a caring daughter. She also shows great respect for parents and elders. As a sibling, if you stay out of her business, she will be most loving, caring, and affectionate. If your wife is an Arian, then respect from her has to be earned. She will not bestow it readily, but once convinced of her husband's true worth, she will remain loyal and committed to him. With sheer strength of character, she will stand by him in tough times. What you give to her in love will come back to you doubled. Only, and this is important, make sure you voice your gratitude abundantly. While she is extremely devoted, she often feels the urge to be experimental and flirtatious, which could either be very casual or very serious. As a mother, she comes with low patience, but over time she realizes she has little choice but to be patient. Although she is a doting mother, she will not necessarily pamper her children. She would wish them to be independent as herself quickly. She can be a little indifferent in teaching her children manners and public behavior. At work, her need to be perfect and efficient in every given task makes her a good employee. She likes earning laurels and will spare no hard work to do that. An Aryan at work tends to be loud and the center of attraction. She likes to see people dependent on her and is also known to throw tantrums. Also, she can be extremely creative, responsible, sincere, and hardworking. How is she when alone? Her mind harbors a million thoughts on what she wants to achieve and how she wants to achieve it. She could plan, read a plot, out her roadmap to success, and reconsider options every time she's on her own, eliminating any ideas of failure. When alone, her thought could often take on a negative shade, especially if she finds an object of jealousy. Could be a professional rival, someone who's better than her studies, better than her at studies, or even her own siblings. How is she when in love? Before we go further on this front, let me clarify that Aries women are extremely practical. Although they love the very concept of love, their approach is overruled by practicality. After she has covered the grounds for education and career, her next priority is to find a compatible companion. And this search is likely to begin very early in life. Being experimental and flirtatious, she goes through learning curves as she matures to understand what she wants and what she doesn't. Unlike the other two fire signs, an Aries woman can cleverly hide her desires and want of material things. While she can stand by her companion through hardships and struggles, she would make sure she's not wasting her time with a loser. Romance is the core of her belief system, so much so that she's fully satisfied with the idea of a complete romance rather than the actual romance itself. Honesty of character upholds her in love as well. She will remain loyal and committed to her man. Two timing is just not her cup of tea. With her optimism, she sees love only within the precincts of the term forever. When in love, she can be extremely passionate and open to sharing. Very often, the streak of independence and dominance is an Aries woman. Creates a contrary impression of her needs. Even when she's at her seest, a henpecked husband or a partner is not what she's looking for. She likes submissive people, but not to the extent of their being whims. She is most compatible with people who understand her needs and give her importance. But when it comes to compatibility with her soulmate, the picture turns slightly different. She wants a man who stands up to her expectations, knows how to care and comfort her, and shares her idea of everlasting romance. If you try to dominate her, you will be shown the door in a flash. If you are with the aggressive kind of Aryan woman, you will be in for a lot of entertainment. She has a very good sense of humor and will envelop everyone around her with her charming yet reckless ways. For peaceful coexistence with an Aries girl, it is important to give her space and ample freedom. Be graceful while handling her possessiveness, but don't show yours. She will not like any infringement on her space, and in turn, she will respect your freedom too. Once you fall in love with an Aries girl, for starters, you have to accept the fact that she's a woman of the world. Your relationship ahead will largely depend on your acceptance of this fact for her personality. She will forge headfirst in activities like listening to the woes of your parents, looking after your siblings, taking notes from some distant aunts on the phone, attending to your friends, as well as being part of many social do's and shopping sprees. That is not to say she will neglect you, but once she is with you, it'll be your job to fit in as many romantic moments as you can. She will not be satisfied with falling in love with you alone. She will make it a point to gather your entire family in her love nest. That's an Aryan girl for you. What does she look for in a partner? The Aries woman believes she's the best and wants her partner to be the best too. Tall, dark, and handsome. She wants it all in her man. Throw in hordes of wealth and she'll be squealing with ghee. That does not mean by any way that she's a gold digger. For the jealous Aries, becoming the object of envy of others is a big high. So if she finds someone who, according to her, is quite a catch, she'd be delighted beyond words. She seeks a partner who's capable of appreciating her qualities and efforts and would gladly reciprocate as long as he keeps the compliments and adulation coming. When dating her, you should get used to her dominant nature. That's a prerequisite. She won't leave anything to you or chance. She will supervise everything, and a date with her will be a complete, foolproof deal. A few meetings down the lane, and she is likely to pop in before a date to check what clothes you're planning to wear to meet her. The Aries woman likes to take the lead in everything, dating being no exception. Don't be surprised if she asks you out first. Although she has a dominating persona, she isn't masculine or tomboyish. You will find her feminine in many subtle ways. She loves the thrill and adventure, not to mention the risk of dangerous stuff. Dare her to a task and you will see the best in her. She's like challenges. It isn't a bad idea to invite her to a friendly game of go-karting. Although, with her strong competitive streak, no game is ever going to be friendly. Her enthusiastic spirit never lags, and you will have a ball of time while dating her. She has good humor too, so you will enjoy your time with her. Possessiveness and bossiness are things that don't go down well with the Aryan spirit. Don't interfere too much with her private territory. Let her have her space and you'll be surprised to see how much she blossoms in it. The Aries woman is a romantic and emotional, but to a degree. She doesn't like excessive closeness and clinginess. So don't appear needy while dating her. Show her how much you appreciate her with a good amount of sincere compliments thrown in, and she will make your date the most memorable one of your life. Don't be too submissive either. She likes to boss around, but she will appreciate a man who's man enough to stick to his guns. Don't criticize or instruct her. Any attempt at dominating her will be overthrown with complete zest, and that would be the last that you see of the fiery Aryan. It is also unwise to try her limited resource of patience, as her temperamental nature is likely to take an untoward turn. And don't be in a hurry to get that good night kiss. She won't like such advances, but given her taking charge nature, she is quite likely to initiate the kiss herself. And lastly, you won't have to wait long to know the result of your date with her. She will be frank enough to tell you whether you have made a place for yourself in her firebrand heart or it's exit time for you. She's always vocal about her feelings, and it would be easy to know if dating her is taking you into a long term relationship or not. Finally, to sum up, while dating an Aries girl, wear smart clothes, play a little hard to get, be ready for surprises, and book a table for two at the best exotic restaurant in town. I'm sure you will love the experience. Happy dating. Compatibility quotient. They say one must fight fire with fire. I don't know how true that is technically, but among zodiac signs, too much of fire can have disastrous results. The fiery nature of the Aries girl needs a match that's cool and down to earth, and yet one that has traits to equal her passionate nature. Compatibility with an Aries female is much more than a play of fire and ice. But if she's a passive woman and meets an active aggressive fire sign, or if she's an active aggressive woman and meets a passive fire sign, opposites would work out really well. Aries woman and Aries man. 3.5 out of 10. There's too much friction here for a long term relationship to work out. With ego, dominating nature, temper, and impatience in both, it is an unlikely match. Although, like mentioned, above opposite type temperaments could work out well. Taurus man, 6.5 out of 10. This combination can work only if both are ready for compromises. She will have to curb her extrovertish nature and unruly tongue, while he may have to learn to give her space. Money can be a bone of contention between these two, as a Tauran is extremely cautious with it, while the Arian is extravagant. Gemini man, 9 out of 10. Here's a good one. Both are highly charged individuals. The Gemini man is intelligent enough to accept the free spirit of the Arian. She will be instantly floored with his charm and romantic disposition. Cancer man, 7 out of 10. This relationship can work out in a long run if both are able to check their obstinacy. The Aries girl will have to understand his moodiness and sedentary nature, while the Cancer guy will have to respect her spirited and outgoing nature. Leo man, 8 out of 10. Great chemistry here. The Leo man has much confidence and masculinity as required to impress the Arian girl. She is capable of taking care of his emotional needs and weak ego, while he is capable of giving her the luxuries of life. Virgo man, 7 out of 10. This match can go a long way in spite of the inherent differences. The Aries woman should learn to get used to his cautious and organized nature, and also to keep her adventure streak under check. Libra man, 7 out of 10. Again a good match in spite of the differences. The Arian will have to exercise the last ounce of her patience to deal with the indecisiveness of the Libran man. But he is quite capable of taking care of her, and his idea of romance is also likely to suit her to a T. Scorpio man, 6 out of 10. The differences here are rather strong. The Scorpio man will not like her dominating nature, while the Arian girl will not take his possessiveness too well. Although they will admire each other for some traits, it would take too much hard work from both ends to make this relationship last in the long run. Sagittarius man, 9 out of 10. A match well made. Both are attuned to each other's personality traits. Both are impulsive and adventure loving. He has good humor to keep her interested, and she has spontaneity to keep him impressed. The Arian may have to guard her tongue now and then, but apart from that, they make a compatible pair. Capricorn man, 7 out of 10. Capricorn man and Aries woman are poles apart, but opposites do attract. She's vivacious while he could be somber. She's expressive while he is not sometimes. But patience and tolerance can work wonders for this relationship. Aquarius man, 8 out of 10. The Aquarius man is unconventional enough to suit the Arian taste. Her sharp and astute mind will prove to be a turn on for him. With little bit of understanding about each other's temperament and need for space, they can hit it off superbly. Pisces man, 7 out of 10. Although both are emotional, their emotional needs are quite different. Her aggressiveness might hurt the sensitive Piscean nature. She will like his mystic mind and with her intelligence can help him find his way in this materialistic world. Aries women celebrities or personalities. Sarah Jessica Parker, Mariah Carey, Jaya Bachchan, Rani Mukherjee, and DJ Shilpi Sharma.